It's the
Yeah.
Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on Adobe Radio. We are. It's
You
true.
sure are.
We sure are. And we will be until they pry this mic out of our cold dead mouths. Ew. That's gross. Happy Christmas. It is our Christmas episode. I am wearing a Christmas sweater. We're not doing anything related to Christmas though today. I don't know. Can you see my sweater?
I can.
Nice.
It's got candy canes on it and a Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it's mine. Is this mine? I can't remember. My sister gave it to me, but I'm pretty sure it's mine. It looks like mine. My niece liked it. She said she wanted one just like it.
Should I go put on a Christmas sweater?
No, we're not doing anything related to Christmas today.
Okay.
I just went to go look at lights with my niece, and I didn't change because it's not a Christmas episode. I was just joking. It's the National Lampoon's Nerds Vacation. We're not doing anything special this year for Christmas. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we put together a little episode. I'll put those up. They're fun. They're jolly. We're just gonna be talking about like news. It's just gonna be a it's just gonna be a regular Cool Nerd Weed Show episode. We'll try to end with something fun, but we have to talk about stuff. Just if only to reiterate what we said last week on the show and what you've probably heard a lot of people say. But we're gonna start with that. I went to a dispensary by my sister's house. So I went to a local dispensary. We are in Norwood, New Jersey, which is right on the border of New York State and New Jersey. And there's dispensaries everywhere, but the closest dispensary here in Jersey, I think, was like, no, it was it was even closer. There was like not a lot of dispensaries close to my sister here in this part of town. But once you cross the border and you get to New York State, I can't see myself, so I don't know if you can see this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is it. It's called Highland Botanicals, and it was cool. I like to see dispensaries pop up. Piermont's a pretty rad
What's
town. It's historical.
what's the vibe of the town of Piedmont?
Piermont.
Piermont.
Piermont's cool. It's like by like a lot of docks and shit. It's mad historical. It's like colonial shit, like all around here, George Washington and stuff. But it's
It's
cool up here.
like on the Hudson River.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I believe. I don't know. But I think so. It's like Palisades. You're driving up the Palisades Parkway. You're seeing like kind of like New York State for what it is. You see the skyline kind of behind you, and then you get into the Palisades of the New York State. And the vibe is cool. You were there. We went there. Why did we go there? I don't know. I brought you there. Remember? And I was like, this Piermont.
Oh yeah. I
um,
mean, I've been. Yeah, definitely. I definitely have been there,
yeah,
but
yeah. uh,
I can't remember the vibe
the
of
vibers
Piermont.
there's like a lot of cool like little bars and cafes and stuff. There's like really good food. It's kind of by Nyack. Nyack is also a vibe. But yeah, like this is right on 9W. It's right on the interstate or the state. Uh, and it's right like very conveniently located. And they've only been open a couple months, I suppose. They're brandy new, but they had a pretty good selection. Considering I'm smoking something. I don't know why this sounds like an ad. I just went to the place, but and it's cool. Like like I just like to see dispensaries around me. It makes me happy. But I didn't like reveal who I was. I was like, if they don't recognize me, then I'm not gonna tell them.
Secret shopping.
Secret shopping. Like I'm like, but
So at Highland Botanicals, you go in, you show your
go in,
ID.
show your ID per the use. Your boy. did not expect to see a California license. I don't know. He was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Yeah." For sure. I mean, I get a few things when I show my Cali license in dispensaries, uh, and not all of it is. I mean, there's no negativity. It's never negative. It's always like take me back with you or something like that. I'm like, whoa, whoa, Jersey's cool or New York is cool. But like in terms of like weed, I guess like one guy was like, why'd you come here? And I was like, well, there's other reasons to come home. And also like, you know, I understand what they're saying because in my opinion, Cali weed is very good, if not the best. But it is exciting to have weed where we are. So he looked a little. I don't know if he knew the system would take my California ID. Maybe they don't get a lot of tourisms off where we were. I didn't see a lot of hotels around. But it's not far away from the city because like the bridge is pretty close. So I could see if you were like staying with family for like the holidays and you were like gonna go into the city for a club night, you would totally stay in Piermont and get yourself a pre-roll or whatnot. I'm smoking. They had a nice selection though. It was nice. My brother-in-law was going to get some pretty low. He wanted just something to chill out and be functional that he can like smoke throughout the day. He has kids, obviously, so he wants to chill. And he wanted some edibles. He wanted a vape. We wound up not getting one, but we went in. They checked us in. No new member deals. I didn't ask, but it was clear. And
What's your
that
first
was
time? What's your first time patient? What do I
yeah.
get
You
for
have any
free?
first time patient FTP pre-roll, free pre-roll? Where's the wheel? But we
A wheel.
we looked around and they had like a scent bar, which you would really enjoy. You would have really been proud of me. I asked a lot of questions, and I was very talkative. I feel like even my brother-in-law was like, "Whoa," like, but the bartenders were very kind and very welcoming, and knowledgeable. And they had a like little middle area where it was like a scent bar, and they had these little jars that had flour in them, and you could like press it in the middle, and it would like let out like air, and it'd be like, and it would like have like the
A little
scent,
puff.
like a
A
little
little
puff
puff.
of terps, like a little terp puff, little, a little terp popper.
I
And
love it.
yeah, you would have really liked it. It was effective. I was like, oh, okay. And the bud tender was like, there's a couple that like are not out, but they're like pretty good. And this is interesting. So she recommended that I get this. The botanist is the grower. The botanist. I like that name. And she asked what I liked, and I told her I like dessert strains because true I do, and especially like on the East Coast, I just think it's a safe bet for me. So I was like, pies and cakes and so on. And she said, "Well, I got the thing," and she gave me Dutch treat and cherry pie is what I'm smoking
Okay.
right now.
Like together?
Yeah, that's the strain.
This is Dutch Treat Cherry Pie.
It's not some name. Yeah. It's just the botanist, Dutch treat, DTCP.
Okay. So
So
they've got the crosses on there and
they've got the crosses on there. They're not naming it anything like fucking cherry Dutch or Dutch cherry,
Dutch pie.
Dutch pie. It's just, I like that. I'm in. I'm already in. We had a funny discussion about percentages because I was like, I used to be a sucker for percentages. But to be fair to me, when I was like into percentages, it was when percentages didn't exist, and that's what I was trying to explain, like to my like, so I didn't sound like a whack ass. I was like, no, like we didn't have like labs. The labs we had were like very specific and specialized in California. In New Jersey, you didn't send your shit out. Like that's not a thing. And the bartender was like, yeah, you just, if it is a fire or not, because he was like, the smell, it's really like all that matters. And I was like, no, I'm glad that knowledge is getting out there. I really am. I'm glad that bud tenders aren't like And I was like, oh, do you get a lot of people come in and say, what's the highest percent? He's like, every single person like comes in and says like, what's
All
the
day.
highest percentage? I was like, even on the East Coast, which is interesting because what's the culture? You know what I mean? Where did that come from? How do you know that the highest percentage of THC? Who told you that? You know what I mean? Because if you had asked us in on the West Coast, that's not what we would have said because we knew about terps and we knew about like entourage and all that stuff like that and whole plant and all that stuff. So I find that to be really interesting that like even all across the land, everybody knows that THC percentage is not what matters. And I feel like especially out here because when I smoke something that's like 42% of THC in flower that's not infused, I don't feel good. It doesn't do anything that normal weed does for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the experience is usually on a flower that's testing really crazy high. The flavor just isn't there. And by proxy, the effects are going to be different and wonky.
And just like too much. And that's where you get people saying like, "Oh, weed is like stronger than it used to be," because like it is. Yeah, you're right. But there are options for you. So this is 23%. So it's for me that's like low. But at the same time, I have noticed this about New York weed, especially, is that it is pretty terpy. The terps aren't on here in New Jersey. They have them. Well, most of them. I've found them on here, but I guess you can look it up
What
at your leisure.
what information's on the packaging? Is there like harvest dates, package dates?
Yeah,
They don't have the terps.
there's like a batch lot, an expiration date, and a pack date, and the pack date was just in October. Um, yeah, and then a dose, uh, which is interesting, and then so I guess
Milligrams.
yeah, 0.025 grams equals THC 5.97 milligrams. And then total THC, which is 23.9. And then like a website, and then some warnings about how smoking will kill you. And I mean, I like the packaging. But no, it actually like I think the weed's pretty good. I like it. I didn't really enjoy the way it smelled. And this wasn't out to smell. So I almost did get not duped, but like I smelled something that I was like, oh, that's kind of good. And it wasn't a dessert strain. And I almost went with it. But then my bud tender actually steered me in the right direction, gave me this. This was a good recommendation. Thank you, bud tender, whose name I forgot. I'm so sorry. At Highland Botanicals. Very sweet, though. Like, very nice and welcoming and warm. And the other guy there, whose name I also forgot. He also very kind and very sweet. Very, very cool people. They said their experience has been very lovely so far that they've been open. And I do like this. I showed you the pop in Berkeley, right? Did I show you? Here it is.
Yes.
It's pear. CBDs, THC, and CBG. A lot of isolations there. And I wanted to tell you how much it was. My eighth was $31.
Really? That seems
Yes.
reasonable.
Quite. And my pop in Barkley was $24. And my rock cones. Oh wait, I did get a first time customer.
You get a little discount?
Yeah, I think it's 25 cents. I don't know. I can't tell. I got $10 in discounts. So that's
Nice.
pretty lit. Yeah.
Because New York's allowed to do discounts and deals
Now they
now.
are. Yeah, yeah. Totally. Totally. And then I gave them a 15% tip. Oh, Lyra or Lyra. That was my bud tender. Because now you can track everybody. Thank you, Highland Botanicals. I'm glad you exist. Never go away. I love that these places are here. Maybe I will be back in the weed industry one day, and it's good to know that they're friggin' here, you know? That is a thing that makes me feel better about the world. Yeah, I mean,
It is. It's a beautiful thing.
you know, regulated weed is going to be the price that it's going to be.
For sure. I mean, $31 is not bad for whole flower in New York State
For an
for
eighth.
decent flower.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like my best dealer on the traditional market back in the day. Yeah. Well, like we were talking about this off the air, right? The denominations.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
didn't
and
in my like buying for me, like it's different for literally every human being on this earth, but like all of my guys and gals and theys had it was like always like monetary.
yeah, like fives, tens,
Like a nickel
20s,
bag, yeah.
nickel.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it would go you'd go up. That and like when I look back, I'm like, oh, probably like 250 was like close to an ounce or a half ounce or something, if I can remember correctly. And that was like you saved up for that. That was like your monthly buy. But that was just again, just my and I've always found and that was the good thing is you could always find like a dime bag from like your neighbor. Like randomly sold weed. You know what I mean?
And it was literally a tiny
Literally
little bag.
wrapped in cellophane,
Like,
one tiny little nug that they pinched off and
if
like,
you were lucky, it came in a tiny little Ziploc with like a Batman on it.
oh, if you got the Ziploc, we didn't even get the Ziploc. I rarely had enough money for the Ziploc. That was like 20. And I didn't have that to
The
spare.
20 bag.
Yeah. Every little dollars. But this was satisfying. Satisfying for that it's right here. I'm very glad it's accessible. So yeah, I like this place. I'll be back for sure. I'll be back. You know how many times I fucking forget weed and I'm at my sister's house and like that's insane. It's way too many. So we're doing okay. This is pretty good. This is pretty good.
It seems to be working.
Hey. All right. Well, now we're going to talk about the news you've all been waiting for. Is I guess I don't really have anything to play about it, but we'll play something. Yeah, sure. There you go.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah. Yeah. All that shit. Extra.
King Donald Trump
Ew.
has, by proclamation, executive order, reclassified cannabis to Schedule 3. What does that mean?
And the crowd goes mild.
The crowd goes, "Mwah,
Wah,
mwah."
wah. Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. And just like the most long, sad trombone that's ever existed. No, fuck that guy. But like, the announcement was so whack too. He was like basically talking in his sleep. Like he looked like they woke him up from a nappy, and they were like,
Changed his
Okay.
diaper.
"Go put on your new diaper. Go put on your pants one at a time. Let's do the pants dance because you can't get your pants on." And shuffled him to a desk, and we're like, "Say these words," and he didn't read them, but he remembered, and he also went out of his way to say he doesn't take any weed, which like that's not the drugs we think you take, buddy. We would be
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
It'd be way cooler if you did.
It'd be way cooler if you did. So he don't, as we know, he is totally uncool. And I mean, look, I didn't want to say friggin' told you so, but I bet we can find the episode. I bet ChatGPT can like go through. No, probably not. We have so many episodes, but there is an episode almost 10 years ago in which I said, well, less than 10 years ago, but in which I said, Donald Trump's going to be the guy to do it. And everybody was like, shut your mouth. Nobody said that, but it felt like it. And I'm glad I didn't, because it's right. I mean, he didn't do anything, literally. As we stated last week, this is, what do they call it? A nothing burger. This is just one of those
A wish
statement.
sandwich.
Yeah, yeah. It's so, like we said, mostly nothing really did change. He reclassified. It is now what are the list of drugs that it's still
Oh,
what
it's
is the list of Schedule 3 drugs?
Schedule 3 drugs include like Tylenol with codeine, anabolic steroids, and testosterone.
Okay. There's so many things about that list, but we're just talking about weed today. It the classification of drugs is a whole thing, but this just helps it. Now, in theory, we would want it to open it up, right? Oh, yay, it could be taxed
Yeah.
federally. I guess that's good for somebody.
Yeah.
But Reese,
Number
go.
the-
Yeah, sorry.
really like one of the main things is that the government is finally admitting that cannabis has medicinal value.
Are they though? I mean, yes, 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 they are. I guess
That's
that
like,
in the same breath, yes, it is. It is. It is an admission. They are saying we recognize that it is a benefit medicinally for people.
and it's not as
That's
dangerous
good.
as heroin.
It's still in a class of drugs that you can overdose on. And now, sorry, what were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something?
Oh yeah, well, I was gonna say something, but my lights went out. But that's cool.
Oh,
It's okay.
couldn't tell.
You can still see me. The government has been working for decades on propaganda against cannabis, and they were totally false.
Yeah, they must have known that, which is another thing to think about. Like, why the change of heart? Would you all of a sudden see that? In fact, there's been actually negative press lately about cannabis for a lot of different reasons. There's been confusion. There's been misuse. There's been like a lot of stuff that hasn't been great. So that doesn't even make sense. Like, obviously, it's always been intended very much so for medicinal use. Duh. Like, that's never been we had to go away from that in order for some reason to get it to be adult use. We had to be like, well, no. In order to tax it, we have to classify this as adult use, even though in order to use it legally, we had to classify it as medicinal. You know what I mean? Like, how could this not be the most confusing thing for every single human being in this country and world?
It's so confusing, especially because we still operate in California under medical and adult use. Like
Yes.
we're both in many states.
Now, this is what's so interesting too, because you will get folks who still who are like, oh, is this medical grade? Because I'm getting this in New Jersey, is it better because it's medical more? Stuff like that. Or if you're in a dispensary in LA, like, where's the medical section? Like, this is all for tax reasons. The weed, it I won't say that it hasn't changed, because the way it's grown has to be regulated, and there's different ways we had to adjust in order to meet guidelines. For better, and I do feel like I still hold on to that, like, for better. You do want to know if you are using something medicinally, it's not unhelpful to know exactly where it's grown and what the test results are. I don't think that that's a negative part of adult use, but that is not why Donald Trump reclassified. I don't think he cares about the transparency of weed companies and your health. I don't think that. I think it is just for tax reasons. We don't know anything more. We don't know. It's not legal. He made a big point in saying that it's still illegal. You are not getting out of jail. You are not getting expunged if you very wrongfully are in jail or have it on your record. It's
None
still
of
fucked.
none of the reclassification does doesn't address any of those things.
No.
It's still federally illegal, like you said. People still can get arrested. States will still clash with federal laws.
Yeah.
There's no expungement,
Nothing.
no social justice, no reparations, no reparative justice.
No social programs. As far as the eye can see. I mean, like, also that doesn't even go into the fucking GOP, who is like actively against this, like being like, "Rah, rah, rah, I got like they're, out there with their fucking torches on their side of the argument to fucking make everything stupid already. like again, it's already stupid, and they're coming to make it more stupid. And we're just here trying to get this plant accessible to people who need it. My biggest fear, is that this is going to like fuck up the current state of the states. You know what I'm saying? So okay, so we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about the United States of cannabis after the break and stuff, and I don't know if this is like me being too scared, but eventually I'm scared it will, like, again, I always mention Canada, but I'm also not sure of the logistics, so somebody can fact check me here, but where it was government kind of like sanctioned weed, and it like that's what was at the official dispensaries. If that would I don't think it could happen, but you never know. I mean, you didn't think people could get kidnapped off the streets and taken to places unknown, never to be seen again, and it's fucking happening. So if it could happen there, I'm sure it can happen with weed. And I fear that it will be taken over in a way that will make it even more difficult to get really solid research done and progress done for the plant, because we'll be too preoccupied in this mishigas of the reschedule and the lobbying and the tax money, and it will all be government sanctioned and shitty. I'm afraid it's going to get shitty.
That's a very real possibility, Sasha.
Thanks.
Because
Thanks for validating my fears, because I do fear that.
It's very, very real that big pharma and the FDA and then those CBD companies that I'm pretty sure Trump is behind, and like the big multi-state operators are the ones who potentially could gain the most from controlling the plant. It could, taking out the craft and legacy operators, the little guy.
Yeah, who were barely
People
able
that
to
have been in
run.
it.
Yeah, at least there was like a fighting chance for people who've been in it, or people who deserve another chance at business, like social equity and stuff. At least that was like a positive spin on making it adult use, because that's how it should be. It's insane. But go ahead, sir.
It kind of opens up some research. Like, in theory, universities and hospitals could do cannabis research.
And I think they will.
With less loopholes. Yeah.
And that'll be cool, but I do think it will be with the goal, or like the focus of it being pharmaceutical, which is good, because yes, it acknowledges it as medicine, but oh gosh, big pharma is just so bad, man. It's just so it's at an all-time horrible, and I fear that again they're going to take this plant, they're going to weaponize it. I think they're going to manipulate it. I think you'll see a rise in cannabis use disorder. I think you'll see a regulation in the way that's control, and then I think you'll see the cure. So that's just that. I mean, I sound like fucking Joe Rogan, but like I do feel like that is where the government would want to take it. Donald Trump is clearly degenerating. Like, just watch this press conference if you haven't. I don't know how much longer we're going to have this strapping young lad in office. But I do think that the government wants to take this and make fat stacks, because they know that they can do that. And I don't feel that the industry is safe. in the hands of the government. And I can't change that. That's how I feel. And I won't.
Is
And that's my
is
closing
this
statement.
is this is this like political optics over actual long-term policy? More of a symbolic move than any actual reform, just to try to win over voters and
Yeah, I
you know,
mean,
because
sure.
this there are everybody's racing. All these senators are racing to reverse it already.
Right. But he doesn't have to get those guys on his side. Like, I mean, like we talked about this last week too. Like, are you swayed? You know what I mean? Maybe, maybe if you were on the fence, which if you listen to the show, I doubt you're on the fence on how you feel,
Most of the
President. But
people
if
that
you were, a swing voter, then maybe this swung you the other way and you're MAGA for life. But doubtful. So I think this was just like to get it on the books, so when he dies, they can just fucking make that monies. And I worry about that. I do. I would like
the
it to be left to the states, honestly. Still, even though Massachusetts, again, we will talk about, they have their problems, but California don't. Well, I mean, there's problems of its own, but the weed in California is great, and clearly the weed in California, or it's clearly the weed in New York and New Jersey is great, and I have access to it, and that is great. So, just cut the shit. That's what I always say. Cut the shit.
oh, I can't wait till they open up the Trump Cannabis Research Center.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You're gonna have to have a board. Again, we offer ourselves, even if it's under the. Imagine that's like our title. That's like on our Chiron, like Sasha TS, Trump, Cannabis Coalition.
I would
We
block out.
served under the Trump administration, under
Oh
the
my!
Cannabis Coalition, uh,
Oh my God!
in the years 2026 to 2028.
We would be
You know,
canceled, and on like on my cards, I would redact the Trump name from my business cards.
yeah, yeah. We
Black it
we
out.
we wouldn't. This time, we usually volunteer ourselves for research and questions by any newly legal cannabis place. We retract that offer for this current administration. We're closed for business, sir. So don't come this way. Sorry, but yeah, yeah, we're gonna like this, whatever. There's nothing else to say about it. So we are gonna take a break. I think we said enough.
We did. Reclassification is not the finish line,
No.
but let's get it done.
Yeah, we don't even know when it's gonna be happening. So there's that. I don't know. I don't know what I want anymore. I mean, we wanted to be off of the list. That would have been cooler. So this just feels like watered down coffee or something. Like old iced coffee.
Watered down Diet Coke.
Yeah, like melted. Okay. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back.
And we're back.
I played the wrong drop and I got distracted. Wait, let me find the right one. Here it is, United States Cannabis. Okay, now we're back.
We're back.
That's yes.
That's Sasha.
We're live on Adobe Radio, and we are live. Find us everywhere. Enjoy us. Love us. We are live, so I feel like I don't know. I feel like something went wrong on my end, but it seems like we're live everywhere. We should be live on Adobe. It looks like we are, but I have fears.
Yeah, we're live. We're live
Sweet.
everywhere.
This is great. Great news. You can listen to us though throughout the week at your leisure. If you are, I called it our Christmas show. It's not. It's just the show that we're doing the week of Christmas. And my sweater's itchy, so I wish I wasn't wearing it. And we are talking. Okay, now, so we are in the United States of cannabis. Briefly, I don't want to talk about this for too long. Massachusetts. I don't know what the hell is going on over there. But we're bummed to say that the story we talked about, where they want to scale back legalization, will advance, and the people will vote. So it made it onto a ballot. That's fine, I guess, but like, because the people should be able to vote. But it's insane that it's even like why?
It was. There were some shady tactics that were used to actually get people to sign off on this ballot initiative.
That's bullshit.
So, total dog shit.
It's like that. It's like the Simpsons episode, like when Flanders makes Homer Simpson sign the ballot. Like he doesn't even tell him about it.
Just like Flanders.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
and then
Massachusetts,
the vote was,
you should have Fish play, not our Fish, but the band Fish play at your. So you guys got hosed into signing something, and now it's going to be voted on. Well, vote with your heart. It's unfortunately Massachusetts has had some problems since like the get, which I think is super annoying. It just like holds stuff back, and for what reason? A bunch of bullshit. Nobody is doing this on any sort of moral principle other than being corrupt pieces of shit. So, like, Massachusetts has had trouble in their weed sector for a minute. And now they just want to like pretend it didn't happen and erase it. And then what? Just like call it a day? Recriminalize it? What are you, nuts? What are you talking about?
That's ridiculous.
That is insane. That is like crazy.
The campaign misled everybody. Everybody.
What a shame. What a shame that is for Massachusetts. It's too bad. I love you, Massachusetts. My husband's is from there. You're a beautiful place. Why are you doing this? You're better than this. That's coming from, somebody from the tri-state area. So we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. It'll be at that ballot. We don't know what the measures, we don't know where it's going to go in its final form. But it did get enough signatures to make it to the ballot, so you can vote whether you want it. And I don't know. Usually we have like we'll wait to see how it unfolds. Usually we have like an opinion on it, whether or not we feel if this is worth your vote. For example, like Florida, when they had their vote, we strongly advised against voting for it because it sucked ass. And if you voted for it, you'd be fucked. So, and that turned out to be what the people of Florida wanted as well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know what
and
to say about this yet. Like, obviously, I don't want it to be recriminalized, but I also, the way that it's operating now is butts in Massachusetts. It's not, it doesn't seem like it's a healthy economy for weed there
well,
because it started out so
it
corruptly.
it was corrupt and they had a rocky start, but they've sold $8 billion worth of cannabis products.
Right. No, not that there's not a demand for it. The fact that it was
But
like they had all of those scandals and
oh, for sure.
it like clearly it was voted in and people want it. That's why it's insane to recriminalize it. But my guess is like it just in terms of the business side of it all, like it just felt like it wasn't like I don't know. It was like on a crumbly foundation, the way I feel like the distributors and the growers and the dispensaries were operating. And it turned out like I was right that there was a bunch of like weird like corruption and a bunch of places had to close and a bunch of businesses that couldn't operate. So like yeah, there's like a demand for weed, but the business side of things has failed. The government side of things has failed too. And that's nobody's fault. That's not the consumer's fault, of course, but now the consumer has to pay for it. That's what I meant by economy, not demand.
I see. Well, at the at the same time of all of this other fuckery that's going on in Massachusetts, the powers that be approved regulations for consumption lounges.
Yeah, that's like a mixed message, man.
Yeah, totally. What are you doing?
Again, I feel like it's just like this business before like logistics thing. And then at the expense of weed itself. They're like so quick to get it out there that I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like we had more negative stuff to say about legalization over the years in Massachusetts than positive. I feel like. Not to say that like it's Massachusetts' fault. It's just I don't know. New York had a hard time. New York took like 6 years to like actually like, get it open, you know? So it's definitely you could have
It's
a rocky start, but then get there and then really start to get momentum. And it just doesn't seem like they got there. That doesn't mean they should recriminalize, though. That means they should take it, work it, you know, try to figure out how to make it better, maybe put some effort into it, and then make the business side of it better. But the actual part where it's accessible and like decriminalized, I have no idea why that's being touched at all. At all. There's nothing that indicates that that is necessary from the state of Massachusetts. So,
more more backlash coming from Ohio. Governor Mike DeWine, Republican, of course, signed a bill to ban hemp products and other changes in the state's cannabis laws, including if you bring something in from out of state, that's illegal.
well,
He just wants to make sure extra. I guess it's always been illegal,
right.
but
I think like any little thing that Ohio, yeah, it's again, it's another, it's the same kind of like deal. It's, I don't know. I don't know what, I don't know. I don't know. uh, Again, they're like going, it seems like they're going back and forth with hemp as well in Ohio. I don't think anybody knows
nobody,
what they're doing.
yeah, the government has no clue
That's the
how to
thing.
operate, regulate anything to do with cannabis. And then hemp just threw a whole nother wrench in the program, the farm bill. Also, people want their cannabis, people want their hemp drinks. The powers that be just racing to recriminalize is just fucking insane.
Yes. So we're gonna take a break, and um, and then try to end on sort of a festive note. I don't know. This is so stupid. I said it was stupid before the show. I still think it's stupid. We're gonna take a quick. I shouldn't be negative, but it's stupid. We'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back.
This is the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we're live on Adobe Radio, and it is Christmas week at the time of this filming, and we just this is so stupid. I don't even know like why this came up. So I don't even know what website this is, but there's just an article on why weed sales spike during Christmas. I don't know why this is like, I feel like embarrassed.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why weed sales spike during the holidays, Sasha.
Why?
Because nobody wants to be sober around their family.
You did say that. You did say that. You did. You said that, and I was like, damn. You said that last week, and 2 weeks ago.
It was glitching, so it came through as nobody wants to be around their families. And you're like, "Are you okay? What's wrong with you?"
Like, God damn it. We had a lot of technical difficulties that week, and we tried our damnedest, but we were
don't push the button. Push the button. Don't. Yeah, exactly. You'll kill everyone.
You'll kill everyone. It was, and I was like, Jesus Christ. You're like, nobody wants to be around their families, and I was like, I do. I love my family, but sober around their families is a different story. So you are right. That is partially the reason. Also, you definitely know somebody who smokes weed, like your brother-in-law or your sister-in-law or your mom or your dad, like whoever, weed is always a good present. Always. Always. Like
Oh yeah.
there's never an occasion where I get weed and I'm like, man, like any occasion, it could be fucking I don't even know, Groundhog's Day. And you can give me weed and I'd be stoked. No matter what. Birthday,
Weed
Christmas, weed as a present, A plus plus.
weed is the best gift, and we're getting a lot of people coming into the shop that don't consume at all, but they're like,
Hmm.
you know, I've got a family member, friends,
And
going to
that's
a
why
Christmas party. I'm going to a holiday party.
yeah,
I
that's
need
why
some
it's
pre
cool.
rolls.
Adult use is cool because before that you couldn't do that. Before that you needed a, you needed to have a medicinal card and like, you know, like you couldn't go for a friend like you could for a liquor store. So yeah, you just roll in and get pre rolls for your homies for the holiday party. Oh, you'll be the coolest person at the holiday party, giving out weed. Everybody will love you so much. There's like mad sales also everywhere. I used to like working at this time of year because everybody's just like in the mood and we're always doing sales like from Thanksgiving on. And especially if you're in like an adult use state like California or most of the country, but like, traditionally tourist places like LA, New York. New York, it's like so lit that you could come and do tourist shit like Rockefeller Center and all that like fucking like walking through the Winter Village uh high is like over like in Union Square. That shit is like, and Uptown too, by the park. Love it so much, and I used to do it so much. Smoking weed that was traditionally bought, so it is nice to just, and it just. Listen, I love the smell of weed. So walking down the street in the winter, smelling weed is just a wonderful thing, especially during the season. Now, another reason is like, you know, we're changing our ways. We're getting with the times and gifting weed and also bringing weed to the party and consuming it yourself, before you go to the holiday dinner or your white elephant or whatever the fuck is it's pretty great. There's like I love a holiday party. I really do. And that's saying a lot because I don't like social gatherings, but a holiday party is just so amazing in so many ways. Everybody's fucked up. Like the HR department, your boss's boss, they are lit as fuck and they don't care what you do. You do anything. And
Was it
you can quote me on that. Use it in
what?
court. Legal
What are
purposes,
the
this is not a joke. I'm dead ass. He's like, you should lose your shit at a holiday party. Bring a pre roll,
we
bring an Eddie, and get fucked up.
we hung out for like one of the first times at the weed holiday party at
Yeah,
the bowling alley.
we did with my homie Trisha, and like we had just come from God knows where pre gaming. People were at your house pre gaming, and
Oh yeah, I got in trouble
you
that night.
you did. Oh yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
did. You did because you had all the
I
homies over.
I let all the
Yeah.
homies over and I let them smoke ciggies inside.
See, that's what you do after a holiday party. That's what you do after and before a holiday party. That's just a fact. You smoke cigarettes on the inside of wherever you are. You smoke cigarettes. I've smoked cigarettes inside of my radio studio in the not Adobe's, but upstairs, downstairs, in the hallway. You smoke a goddamn cigarette at your holiday party. You just have to. But yeah, I remember seeing you, and it was like an early stage at the night too. Like we both like just like spoke some foreign language to each other, and like I didn't, and like we laughed, and then you walked away, and I looked at my friend Trish, and she was like, "I have no idea what he said," and I was like, "I don't either. I don't know what I said either." So I
We
guess
were
we're
all
all
smiling though.
we were in a really good mood, and that's true. Weed is just it's in a great good mood. It puts you in a great good mood. It puts you in the festive spirit. There's like a chart here. We have like 2 more minutes. But on this chart, flower is very high. Sales spike of flower. Vape is actually lower than flower in terms of like dollar sales. This is over 4 states. But it's more flour, and then it goes to like vapes, then eddies, concentrates, and then pre rolls are pretty low in this survey as well. I don't know. The survey seems inaccurate.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
you know, it's data.
it is. It's
Science
like
didn't lie.
harvested from like one of the
Top
big
states.
POS.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe
So-
it's. I mean, it's got to be true. That's interesting. You know, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, I feel like pre-roll should be higher up the list.
Hi, yeah. But do you want to know what? That's
But
great. I love it.
Flour's still winning.
Yeah, good for flour. That makes me happy. I love flour. We love you. We love that you love weed during this holidays season. We adore everything about you. We still have one more show to do, which is our New Year's Eve show. We always do, or our right before. I think 1 year we didn't do a show for New Year's, but every year we do a show to close out the year. And this year we will be doing it. We'll be on the same coast, which will be great. We love you so much. Have a happy holiday. If that's something that you celebrate, if you're already in your holiday, celebrate that. If your holiday hasn't started, I hope it is fantastic. We love you so, so much. And
Happy holidays. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck ICE. And don't panic.
it's organic. It's organic every